Hey boo, welcome back to the Slay Girl Slay YouTube channel. My name is Ashley and I am the founder of Slay Girl Slay and host of the Slay Girl Slay podcast. Super glad that you are here today. Okay, I was on this endless scroll on the gram and now it's becoming an endless scroll on TikTok also. And I feel like to be on these apps, you have to be like a 5-star graphic designer, videographer, photographer, stylist, and actor all at the same time. Like, am I right? Or is it just me? You used to just have to post the photo and go, but now it just feels like a whole production on all of these apps to be present, to engage. And some days I feel like I just don't measure up, period. But I came across one of my favorite business owners, read her book a few years ago, and she's killing it. We've met a few times before, but I can honestly say I am super proud of her and all that she's accomplished, right? I think it's very easy to look at the people that we admire, and because of social media, we get a front row seat, if you will, and witness the fruits of their labor. And we see them successful and we see them thriving, but we never really get to see the ugly part. This conversation can totally be twofold, right? But there is one side of things where we can't judge or have jealousy in our hearts for another woman's success because we don't know what she went through to get that success, which we know that already. But then there is this other side where you want to be successful like that and you want your life to be a certain way, but you're still in the process of taking those small steps to get there. You are still at the drawing board, dreaming up things and putting things together, putting your visions together, trying to figure out how to gain resources. And right now you're thinking, man, I'm happy for her, but how will I ever get there? And because we are human beings with real lives and real emotions, it's easy for us to look at someone else who is already where we want to be. And then we look at ourselves and compare our level 5s to someone else's level 26. And we're looking at our level like, well, level 5 is trash. I am 100% guilty of this because I be on these apps scrolling and scrolling, and it's so easy to fall into this trap of thinking of all the things that you have to do or say or buy to get to where someone else is, instead of just looking around and knowing and trusting that you are exactly in the... Oh my God, my nail just popped off. Jesus be offense. I shared this on the pod, but looking back, when I graduated from high school, I went to community college to get all of my general education courses done before I went away for school to cut down the cost of how much it was gonna be because I couldn't pay for school. And I remember thinking about my friends and how they were off having so much fun in school and going to parties, and here I was going to school full time at a community college and then catching 2 buses to get to my part-time job, which was about an hour away from where I lived. I hated it. And at the time, I had no idea how my present day was going to add up to what I had envisioned for myself at that time, which was to be this boss with a degree and living her best life and going to amazing parties and eating out at the finest restaurants, getting lunch with Michelle Obama. I still want to do that. Having money in her bank account, etc., etc., etc. But what I failed to realize at the time, which is what I still forget to this day, is that I was exactly where I needed to be in that moment, on that day, and at that time. God had me in that moment because other things had to be moved around to make room for where I was going next. If I didn't go through that stage of my life, if I was not present in that moment, I would not be here with you today. If I didn't have to watch my friends party it up all the time while I was at home catching 2 buses to get to work to pay for school at the time, I would not have all that I have today. You are exactly where you need to be in this moment, and you lack nothing, sis. You are not missing out on anything, and your portion has been set aside for you. It is so easy for all of us, myself included, to just log on these apps on IG, TikTok, and scroll and see someone's very curated, very much planned life and watch their stories and watch and see how successful they are and look at our current situations and get depressed because we don't think we add up or have what it takes to get to where we want to go. That's a Jedi mind trick if I ever saw one, okay? It may not be the greatest time, it may not be the most fruitful time, but it is the time that you need to be in because that is where you are. Now, don't get me confused because you should be constantly working to get yourself to where you want to go. But the moment you start feeling inadequate or overwhelmed because you are not already there, you have to nip it in the bud. You are not there yet because you're not there yet. You're not there yet because you still have some things to learn, some people to meet, some paths to cross, some things to take place before you get there. And you can't rush the process, boo. I am talking to you today just like I'm talking to myself. You have to live in this moment, boo. You have to live in this space right now in order for you to get the blessings that you've been praying for. And that blessing may not come tomorrow. It doesn't happen overnight. If you gotta log off these apps for a little while to get your mind right, do what you need to do. If you feel like you're just consuming more than you're creating and living and being, do what you need to do, boo, to keep your mind in the game. You are exactly in the spot that God wants you to be in. And while you're there, take the small steps. Shut off social media if you have to. Make decisions, make your moves, learn, read, push yourself, create the visions, stay focused. Take the small steps, boo, because those small steps become big steps. You'll look around and see you have already arrived. Okay, boo, if no one told you this today, I am proud of you. I believe in you. And there is truly nothing you can't do if you don't put your mind to it. Wherever you are in the world, have a beautiful rest of your day. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Always remember, it costs nothing to be kind. Show up and show out today and be the best you that only you can be, boo. We'll chat soon. Peace.